Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the TTR110 pit bike build. Now if this is your first time ever seeing one of my videos, make sure to go down below and hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and also make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. Also, if you didn't catch the last video, we got the handlebars on and the new DME shock almost on. You can see that we don't have a bolt back here because the stock one is all bent. So anyways, I need to get a new one of those. We put the wiring all back in, frame all painted and swing arm painted, all that stuff ready to go. And if you haven't noticed, I got one of the forks on. I just wanted to try and see if I knew how to put this back together because I haven't been home in a while. Anyways, got the longer forks done. The longer springs and dampening rods are from Moto. These are the ones that are not inside of the fork just yet. As you can see, it's all ripped apart right there. And also the fork oil I'm using is Bel-Ray's 30W. A little stiff, and I'm going to try to make it spike as stiff as possible. But without further ado, I'm going to go and start putting together the right fork and show you guys how to do that. I will mention that the Moto company, the forks for these, the springs and the dampening rods, are supposed to be a little bit stiffer than BBR. So hopefully with the stiffer springs than BBR springs and also the 30 weight fork oil, hopefully this sucker will be hella stiff and I can do backflips from nothing and land onto just death and be okay. Okay, so first step is we're going to loop up our seal and put in our first fork seal. Make sure the ring in here is all flat. Your finger into your oil, make sure it's a little bit lubed up, and drop her in there. Now you just want to put this in just a little bit, make sure you don't get anything crooked. Grab a socket that is going to be fitting around that pretty flush. Then you're going to grab a hammer and just tap her a little bit. Check and make sure that you're down a little bit. Everything's going in pretty smooth. And you want to make sure that there's a little bevel that's open here. Then you want to take your retainer clip and shove that guy in there. Next thing we're going to do is get the little spacer that goes on the bottom. This is the spacer, and then the dampening rod is going to go through there, so you want to make sure that the big open end that the dampening rod can actually fit into is facing up. So drop that guy down there, and then grab your fork tube.
God, please, no!
No! Next thing you want to do is grab your dampening rod and then get the washer that came off of your old dampening rod and put it where it belongs, right here. Then you want to take your nice and fresh cleaned fork tube and then drop your dampening rod all the way down through there. Make sure it comes through the bottom of your tube here, and then you want to try to line this all up. Now I'm just going to hope that's all lined up. You want to take your screw that you pulled out from the bottom and also your copper washer. Put your screw through the copper washer. You probably should get new ones, but I won't. And then stick it through the bottom down here and try to find that fork tube and thread it on there. What I'm going to try to do is get it started with the Allen key so we know that nothing's cross-threaded. And the way to make sure that it's actually on there is when you try to pull out the bolt, it actually won't come out. So now I'm going to flip this guy upside down. Probably don't need this big of an impact. This might be a little bit overkill, but it works. Something that kind of helps is when I pull the fork tube tight, and then it kind of hold the resistance on there. Then give her a little hit with the impact. Ah. There you go. She's tight. From you heard my little girly scream as my finger got sucked in here because it pulled it in so tight. But anyways, it's on there. And you don't want to be like me, be all stupid and whatnot, and completely do this wrong. I forgot to put the other spring that's supposed to go on here. So what I'm going to do is pop this sucker off. Take this thingy out. Like I said, did it wrong. Once you pop this guy out, take your spring, then put her on there. Then you take your spring, put that in there. And shimpow, there she is. Then do what I said again. Alrighty, so next thing you want to do is put your tube all the way down to the bottom, like that. Then what you're going to do is put in your oil. So this calls for 80 millimeters on the top. Don't know how much that's going to be because I don't have the like I put too much in last time, so I can't really tell you how many fluid ounces that's going to be. But so this is how you're going to do it. You're going to take your hole, dump her in there, almost fill her to the top. This is how it's working for me, okay? So almost fill it to the top, and it's going to do some bubbles and drip down in there a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's bubbling and it's dropping down. It's dropped down about 1 inch so far. Shake it around a little bit. I like to pull up the tube just a little bit and then drop her back down. Make sure it's all moving around in there. It dropped down about 3 more inches. So I'm going to add some more fluid in there. Oh, that might have been too much. See how it's beveled right there? I'm going to let this drip a little bit more out. I'm going to get some paper towels. And this seems to be about done bubbling. I'm going to dump a little bit out and I'll show you guys how I measure this. So what I'm going to do is take my little gauge, feeler gauge, whatever. It's not really, I don't know what it's called. But anyways, it was for free and it came with one of my parts that I got for my K1100. So what I'm going to do is measure to 80 right there, 80 millimeters. And then if you notice this little stubby boy that came out, that's a little bit dirty, make sure it's completely clean because you're sticking it in your fork oil. Get that ready, poke that guy in there, bing bong,
Bing bong.
nothing on the stick. I dumped too much out. Put a little bit of that goo in there. Try again. More. I need more. Boom, right on the sticky there. Alright, so perfect amount. Then you can grab your wonky boy here.
Hey, yo!
Dump her in. I'm going to pick this tube up a little bit. Now we're going to dump this guy in the rest of the way. See, it's going to bottom out right there. When we pull up this tube, we'll have enough room to work with all the stuff and whatnot. What I'm going to do before I put the cap on, I'm just going to put my fork seal on. I don't think it matters if I do it this way or not. Anyways, pop that fork seal on, make sure it's seated all the way around. You can pretty much do this without any other tools. You can put your little pressure on it, make sure she's sealed. You want to make sure you bring this tube all the way up till it stops. Next thing you're going to want is this little black spacer that comes in the kit. Drop that guy in there. Oh, this is going to be a tight bunghole. Take your washer that was already with there, right in there, put on this cap, and then what you want to do is compress that sucker. This is going to be a pain in the balls, but it is what it is. Son of a. Make sure that's all cleaned off. Don't drop it like I did. Alright, anyways, like I said, washer, this guy, maybe have a screwdriver handy. Suck my balls. Alright, after you clean it off for the 3rd time in a row, set her on there. Get screwdriver. Stick in there tight. Tighter than a virgin on prom night, man.
Tighter than a virgin on prom night.
God dang. It'd really be nice if I had another person to help me.
Oh, please don't hit me.
I'm not gonna hit you.
This is a pain in the balls. No! Okay, ready? I don't know how far down.
Doesn't get good. Yeah, you got it.
God dang.
Oh, that was horrible. Definitely need 2 people. Then the last thing is the cap. Now you got a stiffy boy fork.